Hi, my name is Neil Duncan, and I'm a reader in Education for Social Justice at the University of Wolverhampton. My paper for the Jorsen seminar was titled Disability, Bullying and Schools, How Schools Can Make Things Worse. Instead of the normal approach to investigating bullying in schools, I've always taken a very different line. Most of the bullying in schools research focuses on differences between individual children, and they look for fault deficits within children which make them either more susceptible to bullying, either victims, or have a higher propensity to bully, i.e. bullies themselves. Later years we've had a wider interest into bystander behaviour as well. But these approaches all focus on individuals and individual differences, or whole school management, again trying to effect change amongst individuals, being the pupil group rather than the climate or ethos of the school itself, which is what I'm interested in. So for this paper, which is looking at bullying and disability, I wanted to raise a concept, a model if you will, that I've been developing over the last few years, and this is to exemplify some very specific characteristics that certainly in UK schools appear to be unique in comparison with other institutions, both education and non-education. And they are compulsion. Kids are compelled to go to school, so they have no choice. So the underlying ethos of a school is one of coercion to begin with. The second one is compression, where lots of people, in not high numbers of people, are crushed together in very small spaces with very limited freedom of movement. They're close up against one another, and so can compare and are compared regularly every day of their school lives. The third is control, and the levels of control and micromanagement of children is quite phenomenal in schooling. Everything in the UK, almost every school in the UK, secondary school and many primary schools now, have a uniform address policy, so we control how they look, the length of their hair, the colour of their hair, whether they wear makeup, jewellery, etc. Any form of personal identity is removed or reduced, controlled. And of course we control the behaviour in enormously powerful ways. How they sit, how they walk around, what they say, and even what they think, of course, in terms of what we are allowed to teach them. And the fourth C of this 4C set is that of competition. And competition is so rife within schools, in fact within public life in the UK now, that we've kind of taken it for granted very much. But it's competition that I think has the most corrosive effect when it comes to dealing with bullying and young people with special needs or disabilities. And in this case, what I'm suggesting in the paper is that when you have this compulsory competition, which we have in schools, where everybody has to fight for top place, and the worst thing that can happen to you is that you come last, those children who have the least ability to defend themselves physically, who are often kids with special needs or disabled kids, and those kids who have got reduced capacity for social protection, which again is the same group, and thirdly, those children who academically are less likely to be successful, and I'm talking in very broad terms here because many disabled children and many children with special needs are exceptionally able, exceptionally gifted, but for the majority they're not, and they fall within this most vulnerable section. This makes them much more likely to be bullied, to be targets of bullying, and that's what other people's research tends to find as well. A hugely disproportionate number of young people who are disabled, who have special educational needs, are picked on and harassed in schools. And it's not because they're particularly unpleasant children, it's because that the system, in my model, the system disadvantages them even further by compelling everybody else to act in this heated, competitive way. This might all sound very different and very far-fetched compared to other more orthodox approaches to bullying. So I'm hoping that if you're interested in this, that you'll give it a go by looking at the paper when it's released and reading for yourself my arguments for this. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.